Another episode of Desert Bridge. We're on note number 8. I've created flying jam, a most delightful invention with many useful applications. Never again will I drop my slice of bread onto the ground. Never again will I break a glass of jam. Never again will Squiggles smear himself in this stuff and go rolling around in the desert. This has been a very good day. Work has progressed on the synthesizer. Admittedly, it still creates everything out of peanut butter, but at least it's getting the shapes more or less right. I'm looking forward to the day that it starts working properly. Until then, I am having a lot of peanut butter sandwiches and flying jam. In less pleasant news, I have received a postcard from Neo Caddis telling me of a battle in Katsuli. It seems Urizen's forces attempted to bring order and peace to the land of cats. But I'm glad to say that they failed miserably, as they must in such an attempt. Nevertheless, Urizen has sworn to eradicate this threat to normal, decent life, and to attack Katsuli until only declawed cushion-like creatures are left. The postcard, in typical Katsuli fashion, shows Urizen's forces retreating from the somewhat bloody battlefield, while in the foreground a kitten licks its paw. Rather amusing. Alright. I was hoping for more on the synthesizer. Actually, I think we'll leave off on number 10 and inspect this room. This chair looks as if it's about to start tap dancing. Thankfully, it doesn't. This door is so full that it will never open again. There are several plans for alchemical devices in this drawer. None of them are quite finished, however. This drawer is filled with nonsense and trumpery. Alright. What's this? These controls are very hard to understand. Better just use the touch screens. Flower's asleep. Computer is all out of binary. You'll have to fill it back up if you want to find out what's on it. Jeez. Carpet feels like waves. A raven flew by today on its way to Anerpolis. It stopped to let us know that Urizen has laid siege to Castle Morello. They have enough supplies to last for a long time, but they are now cut off from the rest of the world and cannot help their allies and friends. It's very disquieting. On a more positive note, I installed the Auto Sheep 2000 in my room. I hope it will help me sleep better. I used to sleep so well out here in the desert, but lately it's becoming increasingly difficult. I lie there all tensed up, my mind racing, utterly unable to relax. It's only better when Squiggles sleeps at my feet, but he generally prefers to sleep in his room. My feet are too cold for him, despite the heat. The water looks kind of tired. It's been sitting there for ages. A cup made of mustard. Menard of the Colossus. The True History of Zethras by Zethras. Some dentalism. Fleet Works of Aristotle. Don't eat it. Can't be careful enough with these jellyish bastards by possibly like a sibling or relative of the person who made this game. Charles Dickens. Attempts on our lives. Pretentious bullshit. Author unknown. The Face of Eternity. Will and Love reconsidered. The Book of Carrots. Excellent. Wastepaper basket. Yellow cup stuck to the book underneath of it. Intelligent Creature's Guide to Socialism and Capitalism. Enemies of Equality. Anyway, something that I'd meant, to get at was, that we never looked at the telescope again. His, cold horrors silent, dark Urizen has prepared. His 10,000 of thunders raged, in gloomed array, stretched out across the dreaded world. The rolling of wheels as the swelling seas sounds in the clouds. At last, over the hills of the desert wastes, they are coming. So, looks like army and tanks, like, perhaps. And then, if you go talk to all of the characters, they all have something that's just like this. So, there's nobody says, like, anything longer than, like, a few words. But it's just like, oh, well, that's scary for most of them. So if we do have to walk around more, then I'll read what some of them have to say, but it's mostly just things like, oh, well, that's not good. That's not nice. Like, whatever they said about everything else, pretty much. So we left off on 10. Had a long discussion with Zethras today. He says that this desert was once all green and covered in forest. I had long suspected this, but it is quite different to hear it from someone who actually witnessed it. He doesn't know who built the bridge, though, which is fascinating and proves my theory that it is much older than commonly imagined. But what destroyed these wide forests? What created this desert? Zethras only had one word, but it was enough to send shivers down my spine. War. Squiggle's toy exploded in a most dramatic fashion today. Apparently, he somehow managed to claw his way into its very core and release the magic stored therein. The poor kitty got a huge fright, but within minutes he was pretending it had never happened. Now he's begging for a new toy. Instead of 12, we have Oomba. I didn't notice that before. Oh! Well, this one was translated into something. Oh my goodness, my head feels as if 10 million supernova had decided to do their morning session of primal screaming therapy in it, all the while shooting cannons at elephants made of nitroglycerin. That damn duck and its crazy ideas. I should never even have taken a sip of the drink it made me brew. On top of it all, I wrote down the cipher for my encrypted journal, and now I can neither remember the cipher nor actually read what I wrote, which means I've lost access to my entire encrypted journal and all the important information in it. It could drive me mad if my head didn't hurt this much. A man came in from the desert today. According to what he said, he's been wandering around for decades, believing the whole world to be dead and himself to be the only survivor. His language was really peculiar, overwrought with an amazing degree, but he seems rather nice. We fixed him some cold drinks and let him rest in the guest bedroom. Spider-Pig is sleeping in my room for now. As soon as he feels a little better, we'll send him to Oneapolis. He needs to see people again. Several days after resting and many long conversations with Zathras and Stripes, the man left for Oneapolis. Oddly enough, we forgot to ask his name. Several meters of sour cherry cake arrived by Pelican this morning, courtesy of my young friend Thomas, newly elected leader of Castle Murillo. Such a nice, considerate man. The cake, of course, is already gone, but I made sure everyone got a big portion, so no one's disappointed. Squiggles would have preferred eating the pelican instead, but was persuaded that it might be a bit much for him. The pelican was most amused. Okay, so Oomba was the only one that we couldn't read. I was hoping that somewhere in here we would get the password for slots for inputting binary potions. I don't have to make those, eh? On and off button. So it really seemed like there wasn't anything in here. That was helpful anyway. Can ask him about the army. Oh, a shocking revelation. It is really most peculiar that the master is not in his study. Perhaps he is in his bedroom. Okay. But that's locked, so most likely the key to the key that's in the sink is the key that we need to get in there. Oh dear, can't be good. No, not at all. We must find Old Man Bill. He's the only one who might know what to do about this. Well, we got that already. You don't dare touch this. Wow. Okay, so I still don't have the password for this thing. Oh, that's kind of scary. I'll stay in my room. Yuck. Oops. Oh, I guess there's one more password I can try. Not this machine. This machine. I believe it is YZZX. I don't know if it has to have a period at the end. Alright, so that is not a password. Army? I foresee great trouble, but logic suggests that there's still hope if we act now and not later. House's power supply. You take a glop of red goo. Again? Minty with a breeze of something exotic. So I can just endlessly take red goo. It's squibbles. Yuck. Okay. Oh, I can't make it blue goo. Or purple goo, I guess. Alright, maybe I do need to use the red goo somewhere. Oh, while we're out here, we can ask everybody about the army. Oh, I'm scared, I'm scared. We have to do something. Calm down. Phew. Yes, we have to do something. Oh, crap. Just go away. The mushrooms don't really say much either. Just like the same sorts of things. Dude, that's totally bogus. I hate those medieval dickweeds. I hope those dudes get lost in the desert. Bogus, heinous, most non-triumphant. Man, that sucks. Still French and won't talk to us. Alright. Boxes full of baby mushrooms. I'll tear them to bits with my bear claws. You don't think they have hats, do you? That is not nice. Bill is nice. This house is nice. Nice. Being hungry is not nice. Are you hurrying? Squiggles is nice. Harold is nice. Oh my, that sounds most unpleasant. The fish glances at you disapprovingly. Just wanted to try it. Self-filling bowl of water, self-replenishing bowl of cat food. Alright, well I'm gonna cut the video again here, and we'll be back with more Desert Bridge, probably the last video.